It's a Friday edition, Mr. Irrelevant, presented by Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits. Me and Josh were having a spirited Josh DiMaggio, Alex Strouf with you from the Gruber Loves. This one called Edsel Studio Avenue, downtown Milwaukee. Hunter Vaughn, Tiny Hands, back at the Everlight Solar Studio, downtown Madison. I came in laughing because Joshy didn't realize I was starting the show. As I asked him the question, if I gave you 10 3-point shots from the top of the key, how many are you hitting? And you didn't finish your answer, so go ahead.
2 or 3. I just haven't shot basketball in a while, especially from 3-point range.
So you think you're making 2?
Yeah. Well, do I get to go in the gym, get a couple up? Or
No warm up. Like right now we go.
Yeah, I'll probably go down to 1 or 2.
Okay, got it. Hunter, how about you?
I'm going to be lucky if I hit 1. I'm really bad at basketball.
Okay,
I won't lie.
I think I'm hitting 3. I'm surprised nobody's going to debate me on that.
I have a hard time arguing that because 3 isn't a whole lot.
30%. It's pretty good.
Right, but you're in an empty
that's good
gym
for baseball.
standing in front of just a hoop.
It's a good point. No defense.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, Giannis isn't closing out on you as you're trying to get the shot up.
Ooh, I would like that, though.
That'd
10
be
blocks.
terrifying.
10 blocks, yeah. I mean, we're all, like, relatively tall. You know, we're all over 6 feet tall, I think, right, Josh?
I'm not.
How tall are you?
I think I'm 5'11".
All right. You're
Max.
practically 6 feet.
With shoes, you're 6 foot.
Yeah. Just throw on a little bit of a
I'm by no means
extra
short,
soul.
but neither am I tall.
Regardless, you are not short. None of us are short, I guess was more the point I was making. Giannis would still tower all over each of us.
Yeah, Uh-huh. And I don't think we have the fastest release, going to be honest. I haven't seen either of you shoot a basketball.
Oh, no, I have a messed up release, dude. Yeah, I could hit some shots when I played basketball growing up, but, like, coaches always tried to tweak my shooting form, and then it broke me, so I quit.
I grew up with a lot of basketball players, some pretty good ones. I was never good, though. They just taught me how to do it right. So I look right when I shoot it, just doesn't go in.
Sure. All right, that was a good way to start the show. Nice job, everybody. It's Mr. Irrelevant, presented by Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits. Second to last episode of the year. We'll be back with you Monday, just Joshy and I, and maybe some special guests who will appear throughout. On Monday, beginning at 12:30, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. There will not be a Madison edition on Monday due to...
No, we can still be on Madison. Don't start spreading lies.
Well, hold on. But aren't Jim, Matt, and Molly going to be on Madison?
Yeah, but like you have said before, I'm a wizard, and we can still be live on YouTube with multiple shows going. It'll be the first time we test that out, but it should work.
So we're not positive, but we are pretty positive.
I am 80% sure that it'll work.
Let's say we'll probably be live on
Madison. We'll probably.
Most likely.
Now, there's also another part of this, Hunter. Joshy needs to figure out how to do it. And that's the part where I lose confidence.
All Josh should have to do is click a button. I'll be by my computer, and I'll make it happen.
All right.
I can click buttons.
Yeah, you're pretty good at that.
Uh-huh.
It's literally what you do for a living. You push buttons both literally
and figuratively.
You
were looking for it. I could see it.
Yeah. I was going to say metaphorically, so thank you for saving me. And then I called myself out for being a bozo. Okay, let's talk Monday Night Football coming up Monday. We'll do a full-blown preview show on Monday just outside of Lambeau Field. But this one's got me interested. And not in terms of, I think this is going to be a close competitive game, right? This should be a game the Packers win easily, and Vegas agrees. 14.5-point favorites are the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football against the beat-up, shredded Saints, who are, look, they're not good, right? They fired their head coach. They're without their starting quarterback. It's going to be Spencer Rattler, which is a sick name, but he's not a good quarterback. Alvin Kamara is not going to play Monday for the Saints, so they've got all sorts of issues. It's a home field game. It is a win in your in game for Green Bay, thus the ginormous point spread. I have not done the research to figure out the last time the Packers were 14.5-point favorites, but I imagine it's been a while because that's big. And I understand this is a team that just went on the road on Sunday to Seattle, a tough environment to play, and won by 17. But 14.5-point favorites just feels a little yucky to me because it feels like that only sets you up for disappointment. Right, if the Packers win by 10, that's a good win in the NFL. It's a 2-possession game. It's a double-digit win. But at 14.5-point favorites, it seems like that's a failure, or that's a disappointment, or that's not getting the job done the way they should have. And that's where I feel a little bit yucky about that. As simple as it is, the Packers just need to get the job done. Win, and you're in. to the postseason with 2 games remaining after Monday night. But I don't know that the Packers could do a whole lot for me on Monday to walk away going, wow, now that's the Super Bowl team we've been waiting to see. But they could do plenty of things that make you walk away with a win and go, that was ugly against a really bad team. Which I don't like that setup. I don't like that scenario. I don't like the situation the Packers are walking into on Monday night as 14.5-point favorites, because that is a giant line. And people are going to view, if they win by, let's say, 9 points, they're going to view that as a disappointment, which I don't think it should be. But hopefully the Packers do what they did against Seattle. Fast start, get up big, and they ultimately win and cover that 14.5. But that's just, that line to me, Joshy, seems like you are setting people up for disappointment. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's the way I view it.
I think you are. I think you're waiting for the other shoe to drop type thing. I've got this. You tried a 0.0. This is a 0.0 chance to lose in this game.
Oh, Joshy!
They don't have Derek Carr. Alvin Kamara, I believe, was already ruled out.
Yes, he was.
What? No Taysom Hill on that team?
Correct. He's out for the year.
They don't even have MVS, who was like their savior for a week.
I thought he was playing.
Oh, well, he's on the injury report.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, what the hell are they? How are you going to score points there? What are they going to do? Is Jamal Williams going to get touches? Like, it just, to me, it feels like there is. You're right. It could really only go, because I don't, like, even if you win by 27, it's like, well, I mean, that was barely a football team out there.
Right, correct. So, no Derek Carr, no Alvin Kamara, no Chase Young at practice yesterday for the Saints. Chris Olave, who's still on IR, was doing side work, which means he won't play Monday. Marquez Valdes-Scantling was observing, but it sounds like he is back today at practice.
Little vet rest
for the Saints.
For
yeah, that's nobody deserves it more. Well, in his defense, though, Joshy, that guy's played a lot of football the last few years.
He played a lot of football, and he does a lot of running.
He does. I mean, well, he was on the Chiefs, so he played into February. OTAs are a couple months later. Guy hasn't really gotten a lot of rest, so he deserves a veteran rest day. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who the Saints signed, was new at Saints practice yesterday, wearing number 23, for those of you that are curious. That's from Ross Jackson of the Locked On Saints podcast.
They have one of the worst rush defenses in all the NFL, and they have no chance to fight back on offense. Spencer Rattler lost his job to Jake Haener, and then Jake Haener lost his job to Spencer Rattler. So they are in the absolute dregs of the season. Those guys, like DJ Moore, are planning their vacations and just trying to get out of the season not injured. And Josh Jacobs, when he takes his 15th carry, nobody's going to want to tackle him anymore.
Yeah, fair. So I guess where my head goes, Joshy, when you say that, is Josh Jacobs needs to do what he did the very first drive against Seattle. Just run it down their throats, score 7. Bully ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just not worried about.
No, I'm not either.
There's no aspect about this team that, aside from the Packers sustaining an injury to one of the best players, would even make me think twice.
No, I'm with you. I think it's a 0.0% chance.
I think they could start Malik Willis just because, and they'd still cruise to a victory.
Let me ask you this: do you think we see Malik Willis on Monday?
Yes,
I do too.
I think I sent the score prediction. I think I was somewhere around 34-6.
Yeah, I wrote 38-10.
Yeah.
I think they win big. And look, the way the defense has been playing against a bad offense like this, and they have a decent offensive line, but against an offense like this, you should easily take care of business. And if Clyde Edwards-Helaire is their best running back on Monday, that's a problem. Because look, guy's just not good anymore.
Nope.
He was fun for what, 2 years, 3 years, if that?
Even maybe.
And he just ain't got it no more. And he's learning a new offense from an interim head coach. It's all messy. God, they're really bad.
Terrible.
I thought they were going to be fine this year.
Oh no, they're still dealing with the attempt they made of the Drew Brees final run.
Sure.
They're still trying to get out from underneath that, and instead of just fully blowing it up and trying to start over, they then tried to add Derek Carr to sort of stop the bleeding.
Sure.
That didn't work either.
No, it did not. And he's completely meh anyway.
Does
But
them being as bad as they are, say, because they beat the crap out of the Cowboys.
So I was just about to bring that up because I remember after week 2, I was like, whoa, the Saints might be for real. They beat the Panthers week 1, and I know the Panthers are bad, but they beat them 47-10 week 1, winning a game by 37 points in the NFL, let alone scoring 47 points in the NFL, both incredibly hard to do. And then week 2, as Hunter just referenced, they won 44-19 over the Cowboys. So they came out, they averaged good math, 45 and a half points per game through the first 2 weeks. And then they went on to lose 7 in a row.
It's important to remember Rashid Shaheed was on that team playing. He's now on the IR.
That's right. He's hurt too.
They came out and basically ran an offense that they had never, ever run in their history. And it took teams a few weeks to catch up to what they were actually doing. But once they did, it was kind of like, yeah, these guys are what they are.
Well, then they went through a 6-game stretch of at least 5 of these will be playoff teams likely. Eagles, Falcons, Chiefs, Buccaneers, Broncos, Chargers. Lost all of those. Beat the Falcons the second time around. Beat the Browns, who are horrible. Beat the Giants. Those are their wins. Yeah, they're bad. They only lost by a point to the Commanders last week, but the Commanders only put up 20 points. And the Packers have put up at least 30 each of their last 3 games. Simple mathematics tell you that Joshy's claim that he stole from me is correct. 0.0% chance.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right. We are 1-0 in those games this year. Let's go 2-0. There's a 0% chance the Saints win on Monday. I'm good with it.
There it is.
Proclamation. The win and you're in thing is fun. Packers can clinch a playoff spot with a win on Monday. Jordan Love said after their win last week, he views every week as a playoff game, a must-win game, which is the correct mindset, right? And Brian Bulaga told me about this. What day was that? That was yesterday. Wow, this has been a week, man. That was 16 hours ago. Brian Bulaga told me, when you get to Christmas, the week of Christmas, that is when you begin viewing it as the playoffs. You don't care who you play. You don't care where you play. It's a must-win game no matter the scenario. Every week around Christmas. And obviously this game happening on the 23rd, the week of Christmas. Jordan Love's already in that mindset. And this is a team that still has a lot to prove, but they've done a nice job the last couple of weeks proving that. Not having a fast start and losing by 3 on the road to the Lions was despite the loss, a big note for them. Handling the Niners, handling the Dolphins, handling the Seahawks. Actually, each of the last 4 games, they've scored 30 points. So I just think since that Niners game and that Bears game, they snuck by the 0.0% chance game. They barely snuck by, but it's a win. And then you take care of business of teams that aren't going to be in the postseason. San Francisco, Miami, Seattle might be in the postseason. You go on the road and take care of that one. Like, they're starting to tune up, and that is a really encouraging sign, both defensively and offensively, as we've talked plenty about this week. Edgerrin Cooper's going to play a lot on Monday, Joshy. Quay Walker's not going to play. It's going to be a lot of Edgerrin Cooper, which excites me. He won't play as much as McDuffie and Wilson probably, but he'll still be out there quite a bit.
I think he might vault McDuffie just because Eric Wilson's more natural at that mic. And
okay, I was going to say, who's going to be the green dot? Whoever the mic is, which will be Wilson?
Yes. Wilson has the experience, and I think they trust him in that spot. It was interesting to hear Matt LaFleur say when asked why Edgerrin Cooper wasn't playing more, which is something I thought was the case, is he's coming back from a soft tissue injury. So there is optimism and sounding that, hey, we want this guy to play more, but we also need to keep our rocket ship of a rookie who just had a soft tissue injury healthy, and we want him for the playoffs, not for week 16 against the Saints.
You don't want Jair to play, do you?
I don't care.
I'd prefer if he didn't.
Sure.
Let's get him back in the Minnesota game and tune him up for the postseason.
Do I even need him for that?
I just don't want him knocking off the rust in the wild card round. I want him to have a game or two where, okay, he's going through it. He's not only going to play 10 snaps.
But every game is a game that Jair appears in the next one makes it less likely.
It's true. That's why I think the Minnesota game, because he could take week 18 off, So we'll see. I'm a little bit taken aback right now, Joshy. I'm looking at the ESPN Madison YouTube chat.
Yes.
What was that?
I was in the middle of a yawn.
Oh, sorry, I'm boring you that much.
I forgot my coffee that I usually drink before the program.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. Happy Friday. So David says, so I take it the internet issues at ESPN Madison got worked out. that we all of a sudden have a connection here on YouTube. Jesse, you've been slacking. Jesse Nelson, producer of Wildy and Tausch. Hunter Vaughn replies on his personal YouTube account.
Whoa.
I'm just a wizard and I fixed it. And David replies, gotcha, Hunter. Makes you instantly better than Jesse. Use that for bragging rights against him. Hunter then goes, if I enter arbitration, I will definitely use that. What's going on right now, Hunter?
Just having fun with our fans.
Entertaining yourself, it seems like.
Yeah. He's not participating in this conversation unless he's got to bring up the Saints smoking the Cowboys in week 2 of the NFL season.
Yeah, everything's about me, Strouf. Duh.
Media starts with me.
I have a question if we're going to make things about us and not things that were not pertaining to the program.
Sure, go for it.
You don't have anything on here for Matt LaFleur's edited quote from Enigma?
I just feel like it's been talked about so much, I've got fatigue.
I think you're doing a disservice to all the loyal tens of 20s of...
Hey.
Wow. Disrespectful.
Have they heard your take on it yet?
My take is it was clearly a crappy cut, and I don't think it was done intentionally.
Interesting.
It's as simple as that.
That's wild because I have edited video interviews before. The likelihood of it perfectly timing up where he says another Packers GM's name after saying that is astronomically high.
I just feel like an editor maybe didn't realize Ted Thompson was no longer with the Packers
which
in 2020.
Is then journalistic malpractice
See,
and still
I
just
agree,
as bad.
I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that point. But I just think that's what happened.
My point that I tried to make on January.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is sitting in the editing room and going, "Oh, we got to make him."
But he
bad.
had final say on the cut, and he knew that happened.
Sure does.
He knew that was said, and he did nothing about it.
Have you ever heard of Occam's razor, Alex Strouf?
Teach me, Joshy.
Josh, we went into high school reading level. Got to keep it middle school with Strouf.
Occam's razor.
I'm just catching strays left and right now. What's going on?
Occam's razor is basically like a philosophical theory of the simplest explanation is most often the correct one. So if you're going to assume something or if you're going to make a decision, you want the one that requires the least amount of assumptions. My argument is that following Occam's razor, the least amount of assumptions I need to make follows that Aaron Rodgers had that intentionally edited that way, as opposed to the opposite. Because one, I need to believe that somebody was editing that, and the fact that it goes from video of a highlight, shows Ted Thompson, and then cuts to Matt LaFleur speaking, that had to have been a mistake. So that portion wasn't intentional. They mashed those together, not on purpose. Next, I need to believe that Aaron Rodgers so happened to have slighted the one person he hates as much as his own family. 3, I need to believe that as they were going through this and before sending to Aaron Rodgers, I have to believe that Aaron Rodgers didn't notice.
Oh, come on.
It was incorrect. And then it got sent to Netflix without a single person.
That I feel like is real. Do you think, okay, so I'm confused by Aaron Rodgers' involvement. He's not listed as an EP.
You know who's not listed as other EPs? Glad you brought this up.
Michael Strahan and Tom Brady?
No, Michael Jordan, not listed on it as an EP for The Last Dance. Do you think maybe that was slanted towards old MJ?
It was. This was certainly slanted towards Rodgers. I'm not disagreeing with that.
How about the new one, Martha, with Martha Stewart?
I haven't watched it.
Well, there's a point. You got to watch this clip. It's on the internet. You can find it. There is a point where Martha says she divorced her husband because he cheated on her. And the producer asks, well, didn't you cheat on your husband? And she said, well, he didn't know. But she's also...
Whoa!
She's also not listed as an EP. There's no legal obligation to put somebody who is actually an executive producer and list it. Like,
sure,
it's not a crime to not do that.
But I have a hard time believing Rodgers is.
I don't think Rodgers is in an editing room.
Right, that's my point.
But I do think Aaron Rodgers, at the very least, saw the mistake and ignored the mistake.
Okay, so let's just say, in theory, he watched it. It's about 3 hours and 15 minutes in totality.
Uh-huh.
Let's say he watched that all straight through. That's a lot of information. Like you did, right? You watched all 3 episodes in a row, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I didn't either. I watched the first 2 in a row, and I'm sure there's things I missed in episodes 1 and 2, right? Natural distractions. A dog barks. I need to refill my water.
This wasn't a discussion of some insignificant event in Aaron Rodgers' life. This is the biggest thing and the reason he ended up leaving the Packers. Like,
Sure.
there is probably no bigger professional thing aside from winning a Super Bowl that has affected Aaron Rodgers' life.
I guess, but to me, the quote we're discussing, and I'm sure you've seen it if you haven't been living under a rock the last 36 hours, is essentially LaFleur. It sounds like he credits Ted Thompson with drafting Jordan Love.
Yes.
But like when I watched that for the first time prior to the clip going viral, I just connected the dots in my head. He's referring to when he drafted Aaron Rodgers because I knew he wasn't around anymore. It doesn't sound that way. It does not present that way, which is why I believe the term journalistic malpractice was used by Hunter. It is being discussed. What I think happened is they just cut it poorly. Like that's really all I thought happened.
Right, but you have to be following a certain train, cut something else, and then put another piece in that somehow matches perfectly to a coherent and logical sentence that also just so happens to minimize the one person we all know you despise.
And to Strouf, like, I can literally show on the video side of this. I know this doesn't play well for the audio listeners on this, but if you watch the video stream, this is what an actual editing mistake would probably look like.
Oh boy, what is happening? Oh, he just turned us to black.
Yep. It would just be a flash of black or something like that. That's an actual editing mistake.
Oh, that's fun. I got to give you credit on that. That was fun. That was fun.
Thank you. But like, that's
sure.
It's too perfect for it not to have been intentional, or again, whoever was editing and the producers of it are bad at their jobs.
And if you listen to it, you can hear that there's a little longer pause in Matt LaFleur's sentence, but it blends together as if it was a sentence that was said all at one time, despite being not. Like, it's so hard. I think it's way harder to believe that through all the, like, Aaron Rodgers for sure saw versions of this before the final. Like, they didn't just send him the final product. They sent him, like, here's what we got. Here's this portion. Here's this portion. We're going to put it together, and then we'll watch the
You say
final
that
one.
so matter-of-factly.
Aaron Rodgers, in the first episode, described himself as a perfectionist, and that being a perfectionist is torture. So the definitive story, the 3-part piece, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be paying hyper attention to what happens. He described himself as tortured, like a genius.
Why are
he is a genius.
Like, I just don't understand, Strouf, the level to which you and some
Jason
other
said
people
it.
are bending over backwards to try and defend this.
Yes.
Like,
I
don't get
He's
it.
showing us who he is.
I'm not disagreeing with malpractice. I just have a really hard time wrapping my head around Aaron Rodgers going, oh, we got Goody there.
It is the most generous reading of something you could afford anyone, and it's the person who deserves no more generosity.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've got a lot of mixed feelings from watching Enigma.
Yeah, because all they got to do is showing you a couple touchdown passes, and you're like, guys, look at them. Like, sentences before he said something totally asinine.
The back of my head is an Enigma, by the way. I don't think I've told you guys this yet. Have I told you this? I made Enigma. So back in 2021, it was
practice or something.
No, it was a game. I was freelancing for Westwood One. And they played the Browns on Christmas Day. And Aaron Rodgers threw his franchise record-breaking touchdown to Alan Lazard, I believe it was. And I happened to be standing on the sideline right by that end zone. So when they show that clip in Enigma, you can see the back of my head and my jacket, my jeans.
Amazing how it comes back to you.
For about 1.2 seconds. Now,
Have you screenshot it and framed it yet?
I haven't framed it, but I did screenshot it, yes.
I am going to talk to your significant other and tell you, late Christmas idea. You got a couple days here. Put this up.
No. I'll send it to Hunter. Hopefully we can get it on the screen at some point. But yeah, I mean it's very evident that it's me, and it's not evident whatsoever. So yeah, I mean my point, I guess, is I mean I'm in the documentary and I didn't get asked about the cut, so I'm a little offended in that regard.
You're not the subject of the 3-part documentary. Like, my goodness. And also the argument of he's not listed as an executive producer, that only matters for the people when it comes to awards or like labor union
and to
stuff.
getting paid.
Yeah. That's all that actually is.
Well, I
for.
deserve to be paid.
Right. Also,
You don't.
Where are my royalties? I'm in the documentary.
Also, Aaron Rodgers was paid to be on this, so do you think probably he put a little work into it?
Probably.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
right,
When you start
all right,
peeling
all
apart the rational layers, it's hard.
Okay, but the thing is, it is not coming from a rational person, if you're going to call it rational layers. Nobody despises him more than you. So,
I'm
of
the
course,
only
you're going to
person willing
find.
to be honest about the guy.
No, Greg Scalzo thinks he's honest about the guy. He compared him to Nikolai Tesla
he does it
yesterday.
a little smiling.
Compared him to Nikolai
I watched
Tesla.
his appearance. He was having trouble keeping back his laughter.
Yeah, because he's so right. You know, he's a genius. Perfectionists are going through excruciating pain.
I understand that my reputation precedes me when it comes to Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, really? Do you?
But when I lay out,
You keep
the
saying
case,
rational. This isn't rational.
When I lay out the case and you think about it logically, I think my side is the much more believable and rational stance than just so happened it missed everybody involved with it. The sentences just so happened to be perfect. It just so happened to be Goody who was slighted. Those were just all coincidences that married together to credit Ted Thompson with drafting Jordan Love.
I'm done talking about it.
Have you switched?
No, I haven't switched.
Oh.
I don't think it was intentionally done, if that makes sense. I think it was unintentionally clipped together, but by somebody who didn't know what they were doing, and nobody caught it. That is my take on it.
So journalistic malpractice.
Yes, 100%.
So therefore, we now need to question the rest of the entirety of it and its validity.
Josh, it's an Aaron Rodgers documentary. You already were questioning the rest of it.
But you, now, who was not questioning,
yes,
you must question
I was
more.
questioning. It's a documentary about a very controversial individual. Of course I'm questioning the validity of everything.
Also, we just need to stop paying attention to branded content like this.
To branded content like this?
Oh,
Yes.
Joshy, again, you went too far.
When the person involved, when the subject becomes like a major portion of it,
Sure.
The Last Dance is one. Like, there's plenty of other. The Urban Meyer,
Martha Stewart.
the Swamp Kings, or whatever. When the people grant access with the belief of this is going to be my side of the story,
Sure.
we are no longer getting like an actual. We're just getting entertainment. It's not informational. It's not It's not. It is now just branded. Netflix sold Aaron Rodgers' personality, and Aaron Rodgers got money to do it. That's all it is at this point.
Got it. All right, Josh, I'd like to turn your attention to the video stream. My big appearance on Enigma with Aaron Rodgers.
No, I expected it to be bigger than that.
I told you, it's the back of my head. There I am, corner of the screen.
I'm not even sure which one's you.
Gray jacket with the black bag over my right shoulder and the left arm with the sticker on it. Josh, he's leaning way into the... Here we go. Hunter's going to do it for us. There I am. Gray jacket.
See, I couldn't tell if that was a person or is there someone in front of you as well?
Yes, that is...
Is that camera held by someone else?
Yes, that camera's held by somebody else. That is...
Okay.
I don't remember who I was talking to at that point. But yeah, that's me. So I made Enigma. What do you think about that? Pretty cool, huh?
This is the height of your success.
Well, I will tell you this. I when that play happened, because that was the Allen Lazard touchdown, record breaking, I think it was number 421 for him in a Packers uniform. I remember saying to somebody that day, I'm going to be in a documentary someday. And I was right. I was so right. So I called my shot on that. So I think my two claims to fame right now, Joshy, in sports media are this. Number one, we talked about last week. My citation on the Fail Mary Wikipedia page, number one. Number two, my 1.5 second appearance in Enigma, the Aaron Rodgers documentary. I think those are the two highlights of my career.
Where do you put Mr. Irrelevant being the only place in media where Doug Gottlieb got a warm reception?
Yeah, hopefully we can continue that. I like Doug.
Aside from places he's
Not going well, though.
Aside from people who are paid to be nice to him via working at the same.
Do you think I'm
network.
paid to be nice to him?
No, I'm saying other than people paid to be nice to
sure.
him, much like his producer or the people who work at Fox Sports with him.
Yes, and Green Bay Athletics. I think they're nice to him there.
Maybe not right
Josh
now.
Moon, the athletic director, loves him.
I think it's conditional.
That I would agree with.
Yeah, blowing a 10-point halftime lead
Yeah.
D2 school, not a good look.
All you have
Joshy,
to do is sell you some BS, and
no,
you're
but
like
here's-
my buddy
no, no,
Dougie. My buddy Dougie.
I think if you look back at our Coaches Week interview, I asked him real questions.
Did you ask him tough questions?
I did, yes.
Did you say, how are you going to balance?
Multiple times. I've asked him that question like 3 times in the 2 interviews.
Was the answer adequate?
No, it was crazy. I'm like, you're a Division I basketball coach. This is not a part-time job. He goes, well, I don't sleep much. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm like, okay, I guess that gives you a few more hours in a day, but it's never made any sense. It's never made any sense. But I appreciate your honesty, though. So you anti-Doug Gottlieb, pro-Adam Schefter.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's your guy.
Yeah. Also, one of them's rather callous. The other's a well-respected reporter.
Unlike Aaron Rodgers. All right, let's take a break. Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits. Hey, guess what I signed up to do? Family Christmas? I'm bringing the stuff for the old fashions. You know what I'm bringing?
So am I.
There we go. You know what we're both bringing? Door County Distillery. Whether it's the brandy, the cherry brandy, which of course I will bring. And I'm going to bring the bourbon. You could do the single malt whiskey if you like your whiskey old fashions. I'm going to do bourbon old fashioned. So I'm going to bring a bottle of bourbon. I'm going to bring, because that's what I love from them. And maybe at the end of the night, I'm just drinking it on the rocks. But of course, the cherry brandy infused with local Door County cherries. DoorCountyDistillery.com, the website to find the retailer nearest you. A huge list of unique cocktail recipes, including this one, the final countdown to ring in the new year. DoorCountyDistillery.com. We'll step aside for 60 seconds. When we come back, I want to know what I need to know for the college football playoff. Haven't watched a lot of college football this year. Also have a game to play with Joshy and Hunter that I didn't tell them about, that I will be playing in full on Kyle Bruston Nortman later this afternoon, but I've got a small version of it I want to play with Joshy and Hunter in regards to the college football playoff. Got to make some underdog picks. Got to play what we learned. All still ahead. It's Mr. Relevant, I'm Alex Strouf. Back at Door County Distillery, the New Year's coming up, so we're going to celebrate in style, making the final countdown with our buddy Rob from Door County Distillery. Rob, happy early New Year.
Yeah, happy early New Year's to you too. Do you have any resolutions coming up?
I've got many, but we shouldn't get into those now. We only have 60 seconds. We've got the 20 at least time award-winning single malt whiskey headlining this lineup. How do we make the final countdown?
All right, so you start with, as you said, the award-winning whiskey, single malt, 2.5 ounces of that, half an ounce of grenadine, half an ounce of simple syrup, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Stir. Stay on the outside of the glass, give her a little once over around.
Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you,
Happy
Rob.
New Year's.
The
Cheers.
final countdown from Door County Distillery. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Check out their website with a huge list of unique cocktail recipes at DoorCountyDistillery.com. That's DoorCountyDistillery.com. Is it Nikola Tesla or Nikolai Tesla?
I believe it's Nikola.
Okay. Thanks for not calling me on that before.
People say it a lot, and I think people just don't quite know. It's Tesla. Everyone knows who Tesla is.
All right, that's who I was referring to.
It's not like you're calling him Nicholas Tesla. That'd be different.
Nicholas Tesla would be a strong name, though. Be a strong name. All right, let's talk college football playoff, which all starts tonight, the first year of the 12-team college football playoff. I'm intrigued. I'm excited to watch it. We've got Indiana, Notre Dame tonight, and then SMU, Penn State, Clemson, Texas, and debatably the one I'm most excited for, Tennessee, Ohio State, tomorrow night on ABC and ESPN. And then obviously, if you got your top 4 seeds all on bye this week, Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, and Arizona State. These first-round games are held at the campuses, which I just love. So Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, and Notre Dame all hosting this weekend, which is awesome, right? Like it's awesome to have a playoff atmosphere on a college campus, which we have never had, really, for the big sports, right? Men's basketball and college football. Bowl games are elsewhere. Conference championship games are neutral site games. To have a playoff atmosphere at a college campus is freaking sweet. So I'm excited for it. But admittedly, I have been very, very unplugged on college football this year outside of the Wisconsin Badgers. And given how bad they were, my interest for college football dipped drastically. Hunter and Joshy were both a part a lot this year of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, which essentially means you have to keep at least some sort of an eye and a thumb on the pulse of college football. I know Oregon. That's about it. I know a little bit about Ohio State. I know Will Howard. I know some of the receivers. I know some of the good things Ohio State is going for them. I know some of the big wins that have happened and some of the big upsets that have happened that have led to teams like SMU and Clemson to get into the college football playoff, some of the wins they have. But I just don't know a lot about the college football playoff. So, Hunter, give me something. Just give me one thing you want me to know about the college football playoff. One thing you want me to keep an eye on. What is one thing I should know?
Well, I've got to go to this tweet right away because this was wild. Since Notre Dame is playing on a Friday night, do you know how rare it is for Notre Dame to play on a Friday?
I would guess rare considering they have that big TV deal. I would guess it's been a long time.
The last time that they had a home game on a Friday night was November 30th, 1900. They played Chicago Physicians and Surgeons, and they won 5-0.
Well, that's a disgusting final score.
I love when old college teams played like businesses
right.
and like people who just had jobs.
The physicians and doctors.
Yeah.
That's even longer than the last free kick was made in the NFL, which happened last night. Back in 1976 was the last time a free kick was made, which was made in the Broncos-Chargers game last night. Did you see the picture of the dude that made the last free kick in 1976? Ray Wersching, former Chargers kicker.
I saw you see a picture of him and you turn it into a conversation about yourself.
Yeah, correct. I mean, he looks like he's 60 years old.
Yeah,
and he was 20. He was my age. He was 26.
People from the 70s looked like they were 60 despite being 20 or 30. That's just like, there are people you see today who you remember from the 70s and you're like, that guy looks the exact same age he did 40 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. Huh.
Something about the 70s.
Well, back to the college football playoff. I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee, I know it's not much of an upset, but that 9-8, Tennessee likes to get the ball up and down the field. So I think that's one of those games that could turn into
Nico.
Yeah, Nico. I'm not going to even try and pronounce his last name.
He's just Nico.
Yeah, he's going to chuck the ball around the field. Might be a good number of pill slings in that one.
He's a fun guy to watch because he's absolutely reckless, but so athletic.
Yep. And all of a sudden we'll have a 70-yard touchdown pass, and you're like, oh, okay. And then he'll follow it up with like 3 hospital balls, but,
I think one of these smaller schools that are kind of snuck in here and everybody's sideline, I think one of them wins at some point in this that you're going to think there's no way.
You don't think that's an easy path for Penn State?
No.
Because they would go SMU tonight or tomorrow, at Penn State, and then they would play Boise State in the second round.
I don't trust James Franklin.
That's fair. As far as you can throw
with any stakes, yes. So I think no matter the opponent, who's ever facing Penn State, they are in it. They are good.
They are. They're very good.
Well, and two, like Ashton Genty in that neutral site game, assuming Penn State beats SMU.
He'll run for what, 250?
Yeah, and like that's going to limit the number of possessions. He almost single-handedly beat Oregon, and then you're putting all of that pressure on Drew Aller to try and come away with a big win for you in a neutral site.
That's a fair point.
Like, it's going to be tough.
SMU's better than they're given credit to when it comes to this conversation. They're basically all just University of Miami cast-offs, guys who were like highly regarded, didn't play much, and then ended up with SMU. So they've got talent there. They play a fun brand of football.
Yeah, that's going to be a really fun, interesting game. I'm also super happy that SMU is like back in college football after getting the death penalty back in the 80s. Like the program is finally recovered from that. So I'm really happy that SMU is good because I think if Texas schools are good at football at the college level, that's good for the country.
But it's probably over and done with for them, though. They're going to lose tomorrow.
I don't know. Like I think it's going to be a game. Like I would be surprised if Penn State just blows out SMU.
Yeah,
I think Penn State can win, but yeah. I think it's one of those where that's going to be late. The depth of Penn State is what's going to really show up, and they're just going to be able to pull away. But up until then, I think it's going to be a tight game, and people are going to be surprised by what SMU can do.
Also, you probably get to watch Dabo Swinney get his doors blown off.
Yeah, that's always
Yes.
fun. Clemson, Texas is going to be a blowout.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't mind Dabo Swinney as the person. I've listened to a number of podcasts and that stuff, and like he's got a really interesting story of like going through college
He's just
and getting
kind
into
of annoying,
coaching.
though.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's become very annoying, and I'm just tired of the nonsense with it and how he was like, we're not going to do NIL. We're not going to take transfers. Oh, wait, we weren't playing well. Now we're going to do NIL, and now we're going to get transfers.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, enjoy the college football playoff. Little bit more easy to digest when we're down to 8, to be honest with you. It's a little overwhelming for me to go from 4 to 12.
I mean, I just think that's.
I
you
think
and your
there's
brain.
a reason for that.
Let's play a game. So, Hunter, if you want to get some music, you know I like my games on here. We've played Who He Play For in the NBA. We play all sorts of games. I want to play. There's 2 big things going on in the world. Well, not even the world of sports. There's 2 big things going on in the world right now. Number 1, the college football playoff has expanded to 12 teams. Number 2, Wicked is in theaters. I've got names in front of me. I want you to tell me if this is a Wicked cast member or if this is a starter on one of the college football playoff teams.
Now, is this the name of the actor or actress or the character in Wicked?
Good follow-up. This is the name of the actor.
Okay.
It is all men, so actor. All right, here we go. Let's start with this one. Isaac Bishop. Is that a Wicked cast member or a starter on a college football playoff team? Isaac Bishop.
Josh, what are you thinking?
I don't recognize the name.
Would you recognize either of these?
I would recognize if it. You're going to be able to sneak by like offensive linemen by me.
Well, I'm not running quarterbacks by you. I'm not going to say Will Howard
Right.
next.
But like wide receivers and running backs and tight ends, I think this is an actor.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards actor, too. Let's go actor.
You guys are 1 for 1. That is the Munchkin, Bully, and Wicked. Nicely done.
The Munchkin Bully. What a sentence.
That's what it's listed at in IMDb. Mitchell Evans. Is Mitchell Evans a Wicked cast member or a starter of a college football playoff team?
If my memory serves, this is the tight end from Notre Dame.
Josh, do me a favor right now. Raise your right hand up.
Isn't he?
Raise your. Oh, you just dropped your phone. Josh, he's cheating. Josh, he's
I have
cheating.
my phone. It's not even on. But is this guy a first round pick?
What
Like,
was the name?
Mitchell Evans.
Isn't this guy like he's in mock drafts? Is he not?
Josh is cheating. Josh, he cheated.
I think
the
so.
integrity of this game is ruined.
I swear, they have like a freak there that is like one of the best tight end prospects ever.
They have in past years. You might be thinking of Michael Mayer, who's a Raider.
No,
he was
I
a
know
Notre Dame
that.
guy, right?
Let me look this up.
Oh, you already did. So,
Well,
Were we right? Was it a football player?
yeah, he's the tight end at Notre Dame. He's right.
yeah.
I don't think he's viewed as a
Josh
high
knows ball.
draft prospect, though. Okay, fair enough. I still think Joshy cheated. This one's under investigation.
Oh, it's not. He's a 7th round pick.
Uh-huh.
Is he at least like 6'7"?
Hunter, I don't like where Joshy's at right now. He was hiding his phone. I asked him to raise his right hand. He slyly dropped his phone. The integrity of this game
He's
is in question.
6'5".
And now he's ignoring me.
I was looking up this. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong guy.
Mitchell Evans is indeed the tight end at Notre Dame. But I think Joshy cheated. Put the phone down. The integrity of this game is in question. Let's go to this one. Zach Holmes. Is Zach Holmes a college football playoff starter or an actor?
That
Wicked
sounds like
cast
an
member.
actor name. I'm just going off of my gut here.
I like it. You guys are 2 for 2, by the way.
I'm going football player.
Any guesses on where?
What's the name again?
Zach Holmes.
Penn State.
I would have gone Texas.
Well, you said he's an actor, right, Hunter?
Yeah.
Zach Holmes is a football player. He's the center at Boise State.
We're going centers.
I'm
This is dumb.
You should have done skill players because it at least gives us a chance to know who.
Yeah, but I don't want you to know. I just want you to gut check this. I just want you to gut check this. All right, here, I got 2 more for you.
And it doesn't Wicked have like 1,000 people in it?
Yeah, that's why this was fun.
Yeah.
These are all low
So
cast
unless
numbers,
he's
right?
dropping like Peter Dinklage or Jeff Goldblum,
Right.
I'm not going to know who's
Yeah,
in Wicked.
I'm not using those names. Ariana Grande will not get name dropped here.
Cynthia
I figured.
Erivo.
Jonathan Bailey. Jonathan Bailey. Is that an actor or a football player?
It sounds like a wide receiver.
Oh, I'm going back to actor.
All right, you're each on the board with 3. Jonathan Bailey plays Fierro.
Fierro.
I don't even really
In
know
Wicked?
what Wicked's about.
No, I don't
I know
either.
it's
I don't either.
related to the Wizard of Oz. Past that, I don't know.
It's basically a story. It basically follows along at almost the same time as Wizard of Oz, but like explains some of the characters. It is very good. I haven't seen the movie, but the stage
I
musical
know-
is very good.
I just know the release has been bizarre.
I thought it went really well.
I'm just saying, like the things that actors are
Oh,
saying.
sure. All right, last one for you fellas. Save the best for last. This one could go either
Did you
way.
just go every other for this? No,
No, I
you had 2
mixed it
football
up.
players in a row.
I mixed it up. Best for last. Is this a starter on a college football playoff team, or is this a Wicked cast member? The name I'm looking for is Herbert Gums. Herbert Gums. I mean, this could frankly go either way.
That is a guy who plays for SMU that grew up in Texas.
Yeah, that's a nose tackle. Dude, 6'5", 330.
I am incredibly impressed with your analysis. Herbert Gums is a nose tackle at Boise State.
See, it didn't take a genius to figure some of this out.
Isn't that a great name, though? Herbert Gums?
Yeah.
It's a good
That
name.
one's almost too easy to be a football
Do
player.
you think?
No actor's ever going to be a
Oh,
Herbert Gums.
come on. I feel
Yeah,
like I
you're
could be an
changing
actor
your
with that
name
name.
if you were born
Oh,
Herbert
no.
Gums.
If I'm born Herbert Gums, I'm probably much more successful in sports talk radio than I am now.
Yeah, sports talk, but not on the stage, not on the screen. There's a difference.
That's a fair point. Herbert Gums. Oh, man. All right. Well, thanks for playing. Plenty of more where that came from later today on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Also, Mitchell Evans is their 3rd leading wide receiver. I know I'd seen it. I've watched Notre Dame.
I still think you cheated. You're not convincing me otherwise. All right, let's go to Underdog, underdogfantasy.com. We're going to put together a little, I'm going to need your help here, fellas, because we're going to go college football. And we're going to look particularly at tonight and tomorrow morning. Indiana and Notre Dame go head-to-head tonight on the Underdog app, underdogfantasy.com. You can win up to 1,000 times your money playing their pick'em game. Use promo code GoodKarma at signup, GOODKARMA. Good Karma, all one word. Get up to 100% rather. Deposit match. Get a free pick at signup. It's your call on Underdog. Use promo code GoodKarma. How's Riley Leonard been this year for Notre Dame, Joshua? You seem to be the Notre Dame fanatic.
Fine.
No, we should do.
Also, Herbert Gums. We talk about his hometown?
No, Texas?
Diebold, Texas.
Yeah.
Knew it.
1.5 sacks on the season.
That's so
for all
good.
Herbert.
Boy, Herbie. We should definitely be selecting a Mitchell Evans touchdown, right?
Oh, why not?
I think we have to. Or should we go higher than 34.5 receiving
He
yards?
does. He's tied for the lead on the team with he's the leader in receiving touchdowns on the team.
Oh, he's getting a tutter.
Yeah, Mitchell Evans. Joshy's, what's the right word? I was going to say a word that I shouldn't have said, so I'm not going to say that.
What does that mean?
I was going to call Mitchell Evans your mistress.
I mean,
Whoa.
that's fine.
All right. Curtis Rourke. What's he going to do tonight, fellas? Interception? He's going to throw an interception, right? Higher than half of an interception?
How many does he have on the year?
If
'Cause
you think
feel
I
like
know
he
this
hasn't
information.
turned it over. Well, I'm trying to stall a little bit and look it up. I feel like, yeah, he's only thrown 4 picks this year. So,
Oh, okay. Don't feel great about that then.
yeah, he doesn't turn the ball over much.
Justice Ellison. That's a guy that's going to score a touchdown for Indiana. His name is Justice. And he's been a good back this year for them. But so is Tyson Lawton. Don't they have a 1-2 punch at Indiana? All right, we're bad at this.
There is the only team I feel comfortable doing pick'ems for are the Badgers. There's just too many. You don't know who's injured, who's not. It's way too difficult to suss out for teams that you like. Even if you watch every one of these teams, like if you watched every Notre Dame game, I don't think you'd be good enough to be good at pick'em on them.
Fair.
You have to be like in.
See, like go to the Texas game.
Well, the issue is my computer has been crashing recently.
Oh, great.
I believe
Why didn't you just ask for help from one of us instead of trying us to give you picks on people we know nothing about?
Well, I was going to say Quinn Ewers throws interceptions all the time.
Yeah, and like, why aren't we talking about Ashton Genty? I guess he's not playing this week, so there's not.
That would be why. Yeah, that would be why.
But you could get like Tyler Warren, Penn State. Dude scored 1 billion touchdowns. I'm sure he's probably like a 1.5. Like, come on, Strouf.
Well, my computer's low on storage and it's yelling at me. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna recongregate at the end of the show.
Recongregate.
We're gonna tweet out my picks at Alex_Strouf on Twitter, on the Underdog app, UnderdogFantasy.com. Don't forget there's Saturday NFL action too. Don't forget.
I'll tell you one I love.
All right, hit me.
Cade Klubnik, INT.
That's a Clemson quarterback.
Yes.
Good job.
Thanks, man. I think you were talking to me when you said good job.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
And then why don't we hit the Notre Dame running back? That's like really all they want to do.
So you want to hit the Cade Klubnik interception.
Go Quinn Ewers interception too.
Oh, wow.
He's a turnover machine.
Should we just do an all-hater team?
Yes. But we got to keep Mitchell Evans. We got to keep the Mitchell Evans touchdown.
The one guy.
Okay, so Cade Klubnik interception. Quinn Ewers interception. Mitchell Evans of Notre Dame touchdown. We need one more. Drew Aller?
Yeah, Drew Aller.
Drew Aller interception. All right, there we go. We've got it. Interception. It's a hater parlay. If you flex it, $10 wins you up to 87. If you don't flex it, you win 146 on a $10 entry.
The hater pick 'em.
If you put 20 down, a flex entry can win you up to $175, and a standard entry would win you $292 on a $20 entry. The hater parlay. The hater pick'em entry on the Underdog app, UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code Good Karma at sign up. GOODKARMA. Good Karma. The hater entry. Confirm.
There it is.
Mitchell Evans touchdown for Notre Dame. Higher than half of an interception for all of the above. Cade Klubnik, Quinn Ewers, Drew Aller. Oh, went well, guys. What do you think? That went pretty well.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Computer only stopped working halfway through. All right, time now for what we learned. You learn something new every day. We learned something new today. It's time now for what we learned. And I can't go first. I'm razzled. I'm frazzled. Fraddled.
Oh, my goodness. I'll go first then. The Wisconsin Badgers tweeted this out the other day. If you need a recipe for the holidays, they've got the Bucky Bar. It's got cranberries, peanut butter. If it didn't have the peanut butter, I would absolutely
I just
make
would
this.
say you're allergic to peanut butter.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to help people out through the holidays. You know, I'm trying to be a kind person, spirit of Christmas, all that crap. So there, if you need something, the Bucky Bar.
I got something here.
All right, hey, man.
Joe Burrow gave his offensive lineman katanas.
That's awesome.
Like the sword?
Yeah.
Well, what else is a katana, Strouf?
Well, there's the board game Catan. There is the,
but that's not a
Isn't that
katana.
Settlers of
and then
Catan?
what's the thing with the ball and the spike and the three cups?
A mace?
No, the
Cup and ball?
yeah, but what's it actually called? Isn't
Cup
that called a
and ball.
katana?
Isn't it like a kadama?
Kendama.
Oh,
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a katana.
Yeah, he like each of them came from I don't know if they were recreations or actual ones he bought of like but they were from like certain kingdoms and castles and certain like
Wow.
lineage that came with a full story that like read and they were all able to pick ones that they thought matched them the most. But if I'm being honest, I'd want to be Brock Purdy's offensive line because he got them Sequoias
Cars, right?
and Tundras. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, but like
you
maybe
think
that resonates with his O-line. He knows his guys and like katanas would be like, yeah, this is sick as hell. Like, I would rather have the katana from my QB. Because that would just be so off the wall and awesome. I can buy myself a car if I'm a starting O-lineman.
Also, I just think if you put a katana in front of guys, it'll be like, hell yeah. It won't take much convincing.
Yeah.
One time when we were walking home from the bar, this is when I lived off of Warren Street on Brady, we found a katana in somebody's garbage that was out on the side of the street.
Whoa.
We took it home. It was like a cheap one that was like, but it was metal and it was sharp. And then we spent probably the next 2 hours just throwing up everything we could and chopping it in half in the house.
This is the same dude, by the way, whose friend had a Saturn that he spent time throwing bowling balls at.
Yeah.
You're a weird person. You ever been to a rage room?
No.
I feel like you should go.
Well, I mean, you tell me you find a sword after having 18 door counties out with the boys, and you find a sword and you're not going to go home and throw apples and chop them midair?
See, now, after 18 door counties, that seems like an irresponsible idea. So I probably wouldn't, actually, no.
Or it's an awesome idea, and you've just never actually had a good night out.
I found pieces of apple throughout that apartment for weeks. I think we cut pretty much. I think I had 2 apples from the bag I bought.
The rest of them got shot by the drunk katana. It's nuts. I love that. Frankly, what I learned is that there's such thing as a fair catch kick. I didn't know that was a thing until last night.
That's interesting because the Packers have done it.
Yeah, Mason Crosby missed one in 2008. But I didn't know that until I looked on the Wikipedia page.
I swear I remember Belichick trying it a time or two.
It's happened a few times. It's most often missed.
Yeah, because it's usually like 60 plus.
It's been 48 years since one was
Yeah.
made. Yeah, first one of our lifetime
Yeah.
last night by Dicker the kicker, Cameron Dicker.
They're usually absurdly deep. That's kind of the thing that makes them.
People on Twitter are saying I am able to claim, by the way, that I was an enigma.
Of course.
So that's Joshy DiMaggio.
Sycophant.
That's Joshy DiMaggio, cheater of games. That's Tiny Hands Hunter Vaughn. I am Enigma star Alex Strouf. This has been Mr. Irrelevant, which is presented by Dork County Distillery. It's a weird show. Joshy and I got you Monday. Final episode of the year, which is episode 198 of Mr. Irrelevant. When we come back in the new year, it will be the Friday before the season finale of Packers Bears, which will be episode 199. And the first episode after the NFL regular season comes to an end is episode 200 of Mr. Irrelevant. What should we do for episode 200? That is the question I pose to you guys. Think about that. Hunter, happy holidays. Enjoy your holiday break.
Oh, I will try to. Taking a nice long break now that volleyball is done. It's going to be so nice.
Attaboy. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. We'll be back with you, I believe, January 3rd, whatever that Friday is. That's the 2nd, the 3rd? The 3rd.
The
that
3rd,
Friday.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back with you January 3rd. Joshy and I have got you Monday. So, Joshy, I hope you have a decent weekend. Will you admit the cheating now?
No, I looked it up. I think I was definitely thinking of the Michigan guy when I did it.
What's his name?
His Colston Loveland,
It's not even close to Mitchell
but
Evans.
he's the first round pick.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Ten.
Yeah.
Joshy cheated. Talk to you Monday. It's Mr. Relevant. I'm Alex Strouf. Peace.